Yes, now we are here. Hey, and welcome, my dear weird ones. I'm so happy and excited to be here. And as we all are, we really don't have an idea about what's going to happen. And that's one typical sign of a weird ones. We are expecting everything to be perfect, but actually, uh, the purpose why we are here is to talk a little bit about why do the weird ones need a driving force. And I think I just want to do a little short presentation before we go into and let you know what do we mean with the weird ones. And at first we have Hannah, and she is a typical weird one because it's just a few days ago I sent her a text message and asked if she wants to uh, be here on the Ego Evolution. And we haven't talked for, I don't know, at least a year or maybe it's more. Yeah. And here she is because the weird ones are acting on what feels right. And then they make the decision if they should or should have not participate. So we will see what Hannah is saying about that later.
Yeah.
And then we have Mia. And I know she is a multi-creative person. And so I'm happy to have you here, and the same as you just, okay, that sounds fun, but what is it about? What are we going to do? And here you are, and we'll probably figure that out. And then we have Mia, who has been here and have her own talk before. And she is also a really amazing. Right now, she is in the mood of painting. Some beautiful paintings. So, Hannah, before we start, how do you feel about being here? We start with you.
Oh, it feels completely right. I'm
Yeah.
connected to, like, I'm just loving the word weird. It feels 100% right. And so everything feels right.
Okay. So, and let's check in with Mia. How do you feel about being here?
Yes,
Yeah.
exactly the same. I love the word weird,
Yes.
definitely. So it's lovely to be here.
Yeah. Okay. And then we have Maria. Maybe I should say Mia and Maria. I
I
didn't
think
even.
so.
Yeah, I
Yeah.
think so too. At least we know who we are. Yeah.
Um,
Okay, Maria, how do you feel about being here?
I'm very excited about being here. It was
Yeah.
fun that you put me in the weird group. It made me smile a lot. Yeah.
Yeah.
Thank you for
Okay.
that.
Yeah, it's perfect. Okay, so if we start to describe the weird ones, and most of the time I often use the concept of indigo, and it's just to describe those people, to just make it easier to understand that there is a group of people out there who have a different consciousness. It's kind of born with a different consciousness. They have a high speed brain. They are really creative, and they kind of hate lots of authorities and stupidity and stuff in the society. There is no meaning to it. The weird ones are people who are always asking why. I mean, there needs to be a why behind why you should do something, and that's why you get the, as a kid, especially because as an adult we learn how to behave, but as a kid we are most of the time rebellic, and we want to do the opposite. And if we don't get the if someone asks us what, we asked why, and they said just because, and we never accepted that word, so we couldn't really understand, and we still cannot. And that's also why when we ask why, we are diving deep and can be really, we love to think, we admire ourselves in our selfishness. We have no directly need of being together with other people. I will say, I will check them in and see if they agree with that. We love people when we are in the right place. And also, maybe I should say, when the concept we are using when we are talking now, it's the 3D world. Who is this word in the box? To the rule, regulations, the ordinary society. And then we have I talk about the 5D world, and it's also just a concept to understand in what world do we want to live in, uh, or we live in it and we are trying to get to be there, and we want more people to find that freedom, because freedom is the crown of and on everything in an indigo's and a weird one's mind. We want the freedom to think, the freedom to do what we want, the freedom for everyone else. So at the same time, it's not freedom for ourselves, but it's freedom for every single living species. And also the weird ones have such an ordinary compassion for everything, and that's most of it. Often that compassion is in our way, because we always prioritize everything outside ourselves, because we know we can handle and deal with everything, and we rather want the pleasure of see another species, if it's a human or an animal, happy. It's more important to us than we feel happy ourselves. Okay, there's probably more thing, and I could say, you who wonder, there is actually a little quiz that I called Are You an Indigo test, if you want to check out if you belong to the weird ones, but we will give you the link later. So if we start with you, Hanna, how do you respond to how I describe the weird ones, or do you have something to add?
I could see all of us just like laughing and nodding, and it was just like, I'm not going to talk for the others, but it's just exactly how I feel and always felt. And I feel like, I mean, in some regards, I guess I do some quite, like we all do, normal things, but it's just like these days it's with complete freedom, very active choices, and I feel free in leaving and entering the kind of normal lifestyle or spaces. And yeah, it's just exactly the way you explain it.
Okay, and that's good what you say. So when we're connected to the ego and our driving forces, those help us to go out back in the 3D world and do this normal stuff, because sometimes we have to deal with a society, and then we have learned that the driving forces help us to play the game we need to do to be able to actually live on this planet. Otherwise, we would maybe rather take a spaceship and move to somewhere else. I don't know.
I would say to even enjoy it too, like to enjoy it as an exploration, or but it is an active choice, and that's the key thing.
Exactly, an active choice, and enjoy it. That was a good point, Hannah. So, and Mia, what do you think about my explanation of a weird one?
Yes, I remember the first time I took that test. It was several years ago, and I just checked in kind of everything.
Yeah, I know.
And for me, I was thinking when you said freedom. For me, I think the light spider enabled freedom inside of me in a way that wasn't there before. So even as Hannah said, when you go back and forth in those worlds, it's still this kind of feeling of freedom inside.
Yes.
And that's so beautiful with driving forces and the life intentions and all the spider.
Yeah, and yes, and that's the way you can feel the freedom. If you don't have all the physical freedom, depending on where you are in life, when it comes to kids, family, career, and everything, you can reach this, what you say, the freedom inside. And the freedom is very much to know, okay, I know who I am. And as Hannah said, okay, but I can by choice go out and do this other stuff. But inside here, that's me. And when you know who you are, it's okay to deal with some of the stuff we actually would like to avoid, maybe most of the time. Yeah, that's a good description. And Maria, what do you say about my try to describe a weird one in a few seconds?
It was a perfect description. I felt so belonging to all that you said. And
Okay.
I remember when I did the quiz about the indigo, it was like coming home. Maybe that's was one of the biggest part when I was doing my spider. It explains so much.
Yeah.
For me.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's good, because we have learned, and though we have been really wild as a child, and so we really have tried to adapt to the environment and suppress, and we have learned how to act. So our behavior is suits into the society's norm, and that's really, you feel like you have been in. You were looking for a word earlier, Mia. What was it? You have been in
A straight jacket, exactly.
yeah, like in a straight jacket, and walked around like this. And even though you have been happy most of the time, because you know how to be happy on the inside, because you get never alone or bored with your own brain, because it's always has something interesting to do. But the freedom you feel is like this jacket is open up, and you can sort in all your life in the different spider leg.
Yeah.
And you get an understanding and confirmation about what you have been thinking and feeling before. That wasn't wrong. There was actually nothing wrong with you. You are actually so perfect. It's just that you belong to a minority, so you don't have that many friends. You don't have that many weird friends. And one thing I would say, check with you too. One thing that the whole spider, before we dive into the driving force, helps me with is that I can have somewhere to put all my projects. I mean, because there are projects all the time, and now I know where I can put them, and I feel the freedom. I don't have to accomplish everyone all the time, and I don't have to feel bad because one project I never accomplished it 15 years ago. Because for me, I don't know how it is, but I always heard, be focused, stay focused, focus on one thing, do this first, and you never accomplished anything. You are just jumping around from the one thing to another, and that has been for me really frustrating. And that's freedom for me, that I can, and I know I'm not jumping around, because the project, I know it's there and it has been growing, and it's, I mean, self-growing while I'm out doing something else, and a few years later I pick it up again and keep on working on it.
Yeah, that's lovely. I love that part of it. Yes.
Yes. So we can start with Maria. How do you recognize in this with having too many projects?
I'm dancing around all my spider legs all the time.
Yeah.
That has been a so-called problem for me all my life, that I can't stay focused. I'm thinking of all the kids nowadays, they are diagnosed with ADHD. I think maybe if I go to the psychiatrist, I would be one too. But it's nothing wrong. It's just another way of being.
Yes.
So to change, to be around many projects and to jump around. But as you said, it's so good to have them in place, know where they belong, and know which driving force is for which place.
Exactly.
To be.
It's just a way of handling. And I think I'm happy you say that people are so, the 3D world is trying to label other people's, not because that the person who gets the ADHD, Asperger, autism, or I know all those labels, not because the people who have this diagnosed needs it, but the 3D world needs it because they get so confused when a person doesn't fit into their box. Why can't a person sit still for 4 hours and just read a book or listen to a teacher instead of dealing with and allow the person to become more of what they are, they try to hold them back and put a label on them and call them they are kind of abnormal. And that's so wrong. I get upset. I mean, and I think those labels, I would have all of them. They would have trouble to put and one label. It's impossible. So okay, to Hannah. Now I don't even remember my question about the different project. You see, it's going on.
Well, I always had that like multi-passion, like I don't know, I wanted to have like 10 careers, like, you know, when you got the question like what do you want to be when you grow up, I had like could mention 20 things, and it's just now I feel that things that I'm not actively working on, it doesn't mean that they are dead, or that I'm not getting there. It just means that it's not what it's not active right now, but maybe I'm like charging to do that later, or I'm like learning. I don't know. I don't have to know, but I know that it's just waiting for its time. And I really have that all the time.
No, and that's beautiful, because that's when you let the project be for themselves, and that's when you create magnificence.
Yeah, and I feel I really trust that it will happen now. Like, I guess that's one of the biggest differences, that it's just because I'm not actively like trying to force it to happen or anything like that. I feel confident in that. Well, that time will come, and I will know when it's there.
Yeah, that's absolutely great. And Mia, what do you say about to have too many projects or dealing with too much creativity?
Yeah, as Hannah said, it's like I've also been like that. When I was younger, I thought I would be able to try out like everything you could work with, and I was kind of disappointed when I grew older and understand that, oh shit, I got to choose. I must choose. So the spider has enabled that for me to just like see that yes, there's many things going on, but they have a place, and it's not that many things going on. It's things that fit together with my life spider, and that's amazing. And it's a feeling of being kind of calm in this, even if it's sometimes I feel like I don't have the patience to wait for things to happen, because I wanted it to be like yesterday.
Yes,
but I now I know that, as you said, you know that things happen even if you're not right at it right now.
Yeah.
So
that's kind of a conclusion. I mean, I love that we are allowed to focus in diversity, and it could be for total different things. So in our mind, it's ridiculous that what are you going to be when you're grown up? What one thing? Are you weird? I mean, and it's actually true. It is kind of this box thinking that you should choose one career, and the longer you are, the better it is. I mean, it's ridiculous when you have so many different talents, and you have different moods and the different states in life and everything. So for me, it sounds ridiculous that you have to pick one and stay there. So but now I see we will probably have a little bit longer than 20 minutes, but is that okay with you, girls? Yeah, so just to sum up with driving force, because now we have made clear we have so many projects, and it's brilliant ideas and innovating and pioneering stuff we have. But one problem I think we share is that how can we get it out and have what you say, the patient, and do the manifesting and play the game, so we get our things out there. And there I say the driving forces can be really, really helpful. So if we just check Hannah, no, see. So if you will speak a little bit of one of your driving force, which one is it that you have picked?
Spotlight, or to be in the spotlight, because I always loved speaking in front of audiences and standing in front of audiences, and it's just like one of those things that always been really clear to me, and I never knew how to use it. Like for many years, I also felt pretty ashamed because I didn't have this, like I wasn't a musician, I wasn't, you know, it feels more obvious that you're allowed to take that space if you have like this, you can play the violin, or you have this like
I see. Yes.
sing or whatever. And but I used it like in so many other situations where it's not like an obvious spotlight situation, but I still, I know that I can use that as a power and as a method to solve different situations.
Yes, I got it. And I think that could be really helpful for you to have a spotlight driving force and ego, because the power is really make you to get out and meet people, meet the world. Because otherwise, for an indigo person, it's easy to go back to the bigger space, the 5D world, and we don't really have a need to show off or be out there. But when we connect with our driving forces, it's that, okay, my driving forces want to be in the spotlight. Yeah, but that's good. Then I can present my book, I can present my idea, my concept, or whatever, and your ego will make you do it. So that's a perfect perfect driving force for an weird one to have, because then we know you will share all the great stuff you have to share.
Yeah,
that's perfect. And Mia, what the driving force should we talk about? I know you have lots of them and stuff, but which one have you picked right now?
Yes, I picked the superior one because this one is really active right now, and it's connected to the creativity leg, or the leg, spider leg, that's all about this what do you call it, like jacks of all trades, tusen konstnärskap in Swedish.
Okay, I have no idea.
So,
I know it's
yeah, but it's been a really cool journey there, because this one was one of the first that came to me, but then it was the intention here was the invisible girl to be,
I remember it so well.
yeah. Invisible, and Tove Jansson och Mumintrollet. So, and then I remember I had this very sad feeling of being invisible. So, and that was kind of for a long time, and this intention wasn't really ready to come out. So now the superior driving force is connected with this 2.0 version of this intention. Yes, that was now ready to come forward, and now it's like channeling energy through the different expressions of creativity, and refine and highlight natural beauty and greatness.
Yes.
So it was all this creativity that was in this spider leg that it wasn't ready to come forward.
No.
So, but now it's there, and it's this amazing force in this leg right now, and it's just, it's flows very much.
Yes, no, I have seen, and I mean, it's really give you the power not just to keep on do your painting, but also show your paintings for the world. That's are amazing. Yes. I mean, it's created somewhere else from in space, I guess. So no, that's a good example.
I held it for myself. I didn't want to share it with anyone, but now it feels nice because I know this is why I'm here. It's one of the things I'm here for.
That's exactly for the weird ones, for the indigo people, that you can live with it, because for you the creation is already done, and for yourself it's enough. But when you get a driving force, and I mean the creation, innovations and everything, it must get out to the world, because that's how the world is moving forward, with crazy ideas and new ways of thinking, new ways of seeing the world. So it's not right, or even a weird one, to sit on stuff that should be shared with the world. And no, exactly. So that's a really good thing that the driving forces is helping you to do. So we are happy for that. Okay. So, and Mia, what would you say about your driving forces? This one. I'm sorry, girls, that you have to pick one. That's the hard part.
Yes.
Yeah. So, but what do you want to share about your driving force?
My guru, I have one driving force that is a guru. And often with driving forces, it's something that you really reject at the first.
Yes.
I hate gurus.
Yeah, of course, that's the normal thing.
Of course, it's all indigos hate gurus. But
yes,
in the right place, a guru can be a perfect thing to have. And I have it with intention. My sole purpose is to channel in healing for the world. Yeah. And then I use my guru to be in connection and to channel in information that can help and heal, that I don't have to understand with my logical mind. I just connect with source, with help of my guru in the right place. If the guru goes around in all my projects, it would be a mess.
Yeah, and that's what's happening. And that's why so many people with those weird one kind of characteristics have a messy life, because it's messy when all those parts and the driving forces get no attention at all, and they try to get hurt. So that's why you see indigo people in lots of trouble in the society. They never fit in. So it both then we don't have to mention what, but they get in trouble just because of that. And so what you say about the guru too, it will allow you to speak and teach and tell the knowings you are downloading. And I think that's the biggest part you should use your driving force for. Because it's weird thoughts. Yes, it is. But don't care. If the guru don't care if it's weird or they think the information, the driving force doesn't care about the information. It just wants to speak, and they want people to see them as a guru who is coming there. And so I think that's kind of perfect that you have that one.
Yeah.
Okay, so maybe I know we can keep on talking afterwards and keep on this conversation, because this is fun. But for now, I think we should wrap it up, and it will be interesting to see, Hanna, some advice you want to give specifically to those who feel out of space, not belonging, or maybe are those weird ones. What's your message for them?
I would say, like, look for people who feel the same way. Like, it's just you just realize that we are so many who think that actually maybe it's the other ones that are the weird ones. And I think we need that. We need to feel that connection. So I mean, that's and those people are, like, we are everywhere. And some people might look like they fit in more than others, but we are everywhere. So yeah,
that's what they are hard to find, because they are all over the place, different Asian, different professions. I mean, all over the place.
Yeah.
So we have to kind of connect them a little
and
bit.
it's not something you see. It's not from their work or their looks or anything. So it's just about daring to be seen, and you will discover like-minded people.
Yeah, and when you know it, you feel it. So you feel when you meet a person that's kind of a weird one, you know it, and you have a second conversation, and you know exactly, and it just click with a total stranger, because in there is the weird ones. There is no strangers, and you know them directly. So that's an interesting. I know. Okay, there were another conversation. I'm sorry, Mia. So what's your message to the weird ones?
Which one of us?
Yeah, oh, Mia. Jag kallar the other one Maria. Mia. I pointed at you. Can't you see that?
That's good. Yeah, I just want to say, look inside, go deeper. And if you think you've gone deep, go even deeper, because there's gold to find.
Yes. Yeah, and don't be afraid to practicing to be a human being as well.
Mm.
Yeah. Okay, that's good. And Maria, what's your message?
To embrace all of you, all your, yes, maybe just that. It's so important to embrace all of you as you are.
Yeah.
And you are not alone. We are many weird ones.
Yes.
Yes.
Yes, we are.
Yes. So
No,
connect with them and let the others be. Yeah.
Yes, exactly. And I think we have to allow, and the world is changing, and I think actually there is a great wave right now for the weird ones to step up, though the world is changing. So I think it's a great opportunity with a wide open portal that the weird ones can get out and get the more expression. And as you said, create another new normal. I mean, to really do that. And because things has got stuck in the evolution, and as long as people in the 3D world is trying to keep it in the old way, there will be just more struggle, and the weird ones are needed to move the whole world forward. So that's my message. And then connect with your ego, because that's so obvious when you do a spider with a weird one. It's so clear, they know they're missing, they need to sort it out because everything is a mess. It's like this a little mess. But when you open up this, it can go fast. I mean, sometimes it's just minutes and everything is in place. But the problems comes when they try to deny their ego because they didn't even know they had one. So that's the little harder part. When the ego is in the place, we will also see them manifested in the world, and that's what we need. We don't need the weird ones to hiding behind somewhere and just be quiet anymore. We need them to get out there and do the work they know will improve the world, because that's a knowing they have. All weird ones have those clear intentions since they were a kid, and they need their ego to actually do projects and connect with other weird ones who understand them. Because when they are trying to cooperate or do a project in the 3D world, they get stuck in in agreements, in timelines and things that just kill a weird ones, and they rather just keep the project for themselves. So it's a kind of, I love Da Vinci's expression, an obvious weird one, who said, hey, I mean, you did so much foundings after when he was dead of project that the world never seen. And somewhere he said he rather kept his findings, his innovation for himself, because he didn't want to have an idiot to take care of it, because he was more, he tried to protect his invention. So that's was a long message. So connect with other weird ones and make sure your projects get out there in the right way. So thank you girls for being here. And as you can see, we have way over the 20 minutes, no surprise. And we will continue in our little weird one world and do what we are best of doing. So see you out there, girls. And thank you. And
Thank
bye,
you.
everyone. Yeah,
Bye-bye.
bye-bye.
Bye bye.